Okay, can we all agree this last month has been a little ridiculous?
Last time you saw us, we had just picked up our new RV, taken it to our first rally, and towed it 1,400 miles to face all of the problems we overlooked when we started RV life. And now it's moving day again, but this time we're heading to our first work camping experience where we'll test the limits of our RV while dry camping for longer than we ever have. And honestly, I feel like this is just our life now. Pack up, hook up, drive somewhere else, repeat. And while we've been doing all of that, it's officially 1 month since we bought this truck, which is kind of crazy because when we bought it, we were under so much pressure, we barely had time to think. We needed a truck and we needed it fast. And we needed it to haul an RV we had never even seen. So today, while we make another move, we're going to answer some of your biggest questions, talk about the things that surprised us most, and figure out whether we actually made the right decision.
And the first question we want to address is, did we drive 150,000 miles in 2.5 years? I'll leave that to Mark.
Come on, guys. All right, so I don't know where the misunderstanding happened, but I probably misspoke. Let's clarify it. We bought that truck with 88,000 miles on it. So we did not drive it 150,000. We drove it like 62,000, something like that. I mean, we're tired, but we're not that tired.
The next big question that kept getting repeated was, why did you buy another Ford? So someone commented, I'm confused. Transmission issues and diff issues. Very important powertrain parts failed and y'all got the same truck again, but wider. That actually cracked me up and made me laugh. And I don't think it's the same truck, but wider.
I just cleared up. It's not DEF issues. We had four-wheel drive issues. But still fair enough. Probably the fairest question we got through all the comments. Why would you go with another one if you're having these issues? So the reality is the old Ford we had was used, and maintenance issues on it, we don't know what the maintenance history on it was. And a great example of that was our BMW hitch. When we got that thing, it was completely seized up. That should have probably been a sign. Also, before we bought it, there was rat bedding at the bottom. So, and then when we were installing our dash cam, we found rat droppings. So who knows what was going on? We may have had some wiring issues that were causing some of these problems. So to us, it's not just about Ford or Dodge or GMC or Ram, but why would we go for another one? Because I don't feel like it's necessarily that Ford blanket statement is bad. It's just, I think the one we had wasn't maintained properly.
And someone commented the best truck is the one that's best for you. And I could not agree with that comment more. Between the comfort in the back seat and the turning radius for me to fit into parking spots without having to do this number to get in, I think we picked the right truck for us that also had a few bells and whistles that we've never experienced before.
And one more thing, okay? So I know everybody was like, hey, why did y'all not test class to class? Because we tested a F450 and everything else we tested is 3500 GMC and a 3500 Ram. And the reason we did that was because we just wanted to get the ones that had the highest in their class that's possible, that had a truck available. So with the Rams and the GMCs, Chevys, whatever you would look at, you cannot get 4500s, 5500s that come in a truck base. They're chassis only, and we did not have time to build something out.
So overall, out of all the trucks we tested out and the ones we didn't, there really wasn't a bad truck on our list. But that brings me to the next question that kind of concerned me, is we were considering an F450, but are concerned about payload. Our rig is 24,000 pounds.
Okay, and so really for that one, that is probably one of the biggest things, because honestly, we got a little confused when you start getting into weeds in it. When you look at payload versus towing, shoot, every one of these trucks tows the space shuttle now, but that's just towing. That's literally you pulling it. What's important, especially in a fifth wheel, is your payload capacity. And honestly, that's where the 450 does not have the same payload capacity as the 350. You kind of get the turning radius for the 450 and a little bit less payload capacity. But it is important to know how much payload capacity you have. And we already ran into some issues where we had concerns about our payload capacity. And it's not just the payload capacity alone, like that. So it's not truck to truck. Every truck is different, and you really have to look at the door sticker on what the payload is. Because if you come in and get a single cab 450 at the XT level, you're gonna have the biggest payload capacity. And even further than that, if you just get the chassis version, then you get the highest possible payload capacity and highest towing capacity. So your configuration makes a big deal. And honestly, with the King Ranch configured the way we have it, it's got one of the lower payload capacities. We have had already some concerns about it. Now, what we also have not done is thrown weight in the back to level it off. And we figured once we get that going, we're gonna be able to get the payload adjusted properly. So essentially, the truck isn't what limits you, it's the payload sticker. The next comment, actually, they were saying that the 450 is actually derated. It can actually handle more payload than what's on that sticker. But what they've done is they've classed it down so you don't need commercial insurance. So technically what's equipped on here can handle more payload, but you really should still be going by the payload sticker. Really what it comes down to is the safety factor. It's not about what you can pull, because you can get an F-150 pulling a lot of stuff, but it's what happens when you get in an emergency braking situation, in an accident, or if you have to maneuver. Those are the things where payload capacity and safety really matter.
So the topic that also kind of kept coming up along with that is, do you need a CDL? So a lot of people are saying, oh, your weight is too much, or your length is X, and they're saying you need a CDL to be pulling that rig.
No, you don't. Okay, you don't. Listen, guys, I've seen people triple hauling, whatever. I'm not saying it's right. You know, they got these big Class A's with their big trailer just as long as them. And then they have a boat behind it. And I've seen it before. It's wild. But the thing is, and it's wild, as long as it's for private use, you don't need a CDL. So if you're doing it for commercial purposes, and I'm sure there is a weight limit to where it gets to, but we're nowhere near that. So no CDL for us.
Okay, so before we go into all the questions and all the nitty gritty that you probably expected when you clicked on this video, it's time for the things that actually surprised us that were probably not really on our radar when we bought the truck.
So the first thing I'm gonna say, guys, and I understand why, this is a King Ranch. They come with some nice floor mats, but I'm not a King Ranch boss, okay? I got 2 kids, and I like my leather floor mats, not leather, rubber. I like to be able to rinse them off and clean them, and I sure wish that that came with them. The other big thing is, I know Morgan mentions it every time she's hooking up, is that camera back there.
Every time I'm backing up, I feel like I'm looking at 1080p when I should be looking at something else. I don't know.
Ford is notorious for having some terrible cameras, I'll say that. So I'm not gonna say, I'm not sitting here, I'm a Ford fanboy to a certain extent. I sure wish they would just go ahead and upgrade those cameras, because we're in 2026, y'all, okay?
Now, the moment you've been waiting for, rapid fire questions. Okay, sir. Don't do that. Okay, sir. Are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Let's go.
You have an unknown amount of questions for an unknown period of time. Are you ready for this challenge?
I guess, let's do this.
All right, first commenter says, how much DEF are you going through with the HO Power Stroke?
An ungodly amount. That much, guys. I don't have an exact number. I just know we were still in our break-in period, and we were getting, probably every time we were filling up, we were having to put fuel in. So it was almost for mile. I'm gonna guess anywhere between, obviously it was more than the fuel. So I'm gonna guess between 10 to 15 miles a gallon on the DEF. As we've broken in and it's gone a little bit longer, we seem to be getting probably more like 200 to 300 miles per gallon now. So I'm hoping that as this breaks in, that number just keeps getting better. And for DEF, we've just been using the stuff out of the box because we've heard that out of the gas station, it just sits, it's not as good as quality, and we really don't want to have any issues on the road.
All right, there's some rage bait for the comments because I know people are pretty polarized on the DEF. Where is your DEF coming from? Okay, is it coming from the fuel station or is it coming from the box? Which is better? We need to know.
Let us know. Let us know.
Comment number 2.
Yep.
What mile per gallon are you getting?
All right, so this one is a much easier answer. Our first trip, right after break-in, we were about 7.5 miles to the gallon, loaded up, and she was eating that fuel. Now that it's kind of broken in a little bit more, we are officially up to 7.7 miles to the gallon, guys.
While towing?
While towing. This is our towing fuel mileage. Now I'll tell you this, when we were at the house, we were running all around town. Just to give you perspective, we were there for about a couple weeks and we put almost 1,600 miles on and we were averaging 15 miles to the gallon. And I'll tell you what we were doing though. We weren't just running in normal mode. This has an eco mode. And every time we get inside this beast, when it's not loaded, we flip her straight to eco mode. We sacrifice a little power. That's okay. You know, she does a lot of work when we're towing, so we let her have a little rest.
She did good going through Houston. She didn't need that power.
Yeah,
don't have anything on us. Next question. What gears are you running?
We're running the 430s, and the rear differential is the Dana S110. I don't really have too much to add to that, so.
All right, what is your break-in mileage before towing?
0. It's ready to go out of the box. You just hop in and you drive. That's what they're made to do. Okay, so break-in period. Really, break-in period is 1,000 miles. Look at your Ford manual. Talk to someone that's an actual expert, guys. Okay, but that's what we were told when we first got the truck, and doing our research was 1,000 miles for break-in.
Yeah, and another comment actually said the best way to break in a diesel is under a good load. Do you agree with that statement?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Because that's how she got broke in. So
I would love if that answer is the right answer.
That's the answer I like.
All right, that brings me to the last question on rapid fire questions. How do you like your wide tracking front?
Oh, that is absolutely my favorite, guys. Like, I honestly did not know how much I would enjoy that and how great it was going to be. Expected it to have a stop, and it just went like a couple more turns after that. I mean, we were whipping into spots at HEB or at Target, wherever we're going to these small places, and we're parking it like it's a Honda Civic, like no problem. I mean, what do you think, dear?
I don't know about it being a Honda Civic. I mean, it's twice as long as a Honda Civic, so we still park in the back, but we do whip it in, and it's been a lot more like our 4Runner feeling, maybe better than our 4Runner feeling, but I definitely don't feel like I'm limited when parking. I'm more confident. I don't worry when I go to a parking lot, like, where can I fit? So I'm not one to get too excited about a whole lot of things in this realm. But, and especially people kept saying, oh, you know, when people say too many things over and over and over again, there's something in my brain that doesn't want to agree with them all of a sudden. But they were right. It's fantastic. Do you concur?
I concur, and I want to say I don't park in the back always anymore because of this turning radius. There's been times I get front row parking, and it's dangerous, but I do it, okay?
He does not do dangerous things. We're not liable for any damages that you incur by parking in the front.
Or listening to us, okay?
Or listening to us.
Yeah, don't listen to us, okay? We're just a bunch of people
Regular
having fun.
people.
We're regular people, guys. If you want a subject matter expert, there's plenty of those out there.
So a month ago, we bought a truck we had never seen to pull an RV we'd never seen. And now we've pulled it 5,000 miles in 1 month. And you might be wait, We forgot to tell them how much it costs. Someone asked how much it costs. Are we divulging how much this thing costs?
It's none of y'all damn business, okay? All right.
Is that a weird question?
Why y'all?
I don't think so.
I mean, listen, guys. You know, our trust fund's deep, so.
We do not have a trust fund. But if someone's willing to give us one,
Shoot, we'll take it. Yeah, please send it our way.
what would we even do with trust fund money?
I don't know, probably some more crazy stuff. So.
Oh, I
have
know
some
what
more
I would
fun.
do. I know what I'd do with trust fund money.
Well, you know what? All right, here. You want to know? I'll let you know. We spent $106K. That was MSRP on it. And they don't negotiate on these 450s. These things are moving fast and hard because it's that weird class between consumers and commercial grade. And so, yeah, that's what we spent. 106.
And this sucker is a King Ranch, but it's built out like a Platinum, and it has all the bells and whistles you could ever think of. Even the special ones, right?
Yeah. We have an FX4, so it gives us the extra skid plate and stuff like that. And that's usually removes the onboard scales, but they added it back on. And it's got the 2K onboard power. Those are kind of the three big packages. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff. We have supplemental heater that basically in the wintertime, we don't have to wait for our stuff to get warm. It just turns on its own. It's got an electric heater on there that warms up the air right away. Then also the engine block heater. So those are kind of the main big features that are on there. Oh, I guess the moonroof too. That's the panoramic moonroof. It's great. Yeah, we love it. All those things do decrease our payload capacity, but you know what? We like it all.
And you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, and we needed a truck that pulled our RV, and this is the only one available.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So after all that, since we were pressured to buy this truck, would you buy it again?
Absolutely. It gets us from A to Z. What?
A to B.
A to B?
Yeah.
Well, why A to B? We go from more than A to B. We go from A to freaking Z. You see how we travel? My description's way better, okay? And speaking of which, y'all, we're going from A to Z, and we're gonna be, next time y'all see us, we're gonna be a little bit outside our comfort zone. We're gonna be doing something a little bit wild. So make sure y'all subscribe, because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crazy, but I think we're gonna have a good time. So come on.
So we have 520 miles until we get there, and we don't even know where we're stopping for the night. So I'm going to let you go, and you'll find out what happens next episode. See you there.